All right. Thank you, Ross. Well, good to get back at it today. Day 10 for us. This was we actually got back last night, so good meetings. And I think that's been something that we've done that's really helped us around here coming in Sunday night. After break, kind of help everybody kind of flush spring break and all that stuff and get back focused to have a good productive practice today, which it was. It was pretty much, we had a lot of guys out here today, some of the guys that weren't able to practice before the break. So it's good to see some of these guys moving around again. And then, the first 9 practices were about what we do, how we do it, why we do it. And, these next 6 practices, 5, more from today is about who can do it. And then what we got to do to go get better this summer. To get to grow our team, create the momentum and the confidence that we need, going into August. But it's a good day, and again, good to just get back out here. Beautiful day. So proud of the guys and the mindset that they showed up with today, ready to work. And we've got kind of a 50-50 type day Wednesday. We've got a big scrimmage, our second scrimmage on Friday. And then we've got a controlled half scrimmage on Monday. And then next Wednesday is really we split the team and we do a lot of summer teaching and then spring game. So, these next few days are really critical for us and evaluating our team. And again, who can do it right now and what we got to do to get everybody better between now and August.
Hey, Coach, it's David Hood. Obviously, you worry coming back from spring break, who's going to test positive. Do you have any notables that are out? Noticed that Linjay maybe wasn't out there today, but didn't know if he was okay. And, who else kind of is not able to go right now?
Yeah, Linjay was out here. He was just in yellow today. He was out here. Everybody was out here. But no, we tested yesterday and today and had no issues. So that's a real positive coming off spring break. So hopefully that'll, continue. Obviously we got another week or so to go. But really pretty much the same guys that have been out are out. Got a couple surgeries coming up with a couple of guys that we got to clean up some things. But, again, really just probably had more guys today than we've had at any point, whether it be protocol or injury or whatever. So it was good to see, pretty much a full team out there today.
Coach Trevor Groves here. I think you said with Malcolm getting his surgery that you're going to be working Mario some at the nickel position. How is he adjusting to that position?
Yeah, Mario's fine. I mean, it's something he's always kind of worked at a little bit, but it's something I think with the 6 guys that we got, we've got 6 good guys that I think are going to be able to play winning football for us, next season. And we're going to need 2 of those guys to be able to create some depth. And Malcolm obviously has great experience. And Mario's another guy who's done it some and, really wants to continue to grow in that role as well as corner. So, we'll continue to cross-train both of those guys. And then we've got our other guys that are working a lot there as well, and Tyler Venables and Mickens, and of course Trenton still, working there. So we're developing some good depth that I feel good about, and I think those 2 guys will do a nice job for us as we get ready for the season.
Dabo, this is Larry Williams. Can you update us on Frank Ladson and his situation right now?
Yeah, he had a little surgery before the break. I guess like the Wednesday or Thursday before the break, and he's doing good. He's going to be out these next 2 weeks, but got off to a really good start and just had a little injury that popped up, and they did, like I said, did a in and out type surgery on him right before the break, and so he'll miss these next week or so. But excited about what he was able to do to start spring.
Coach Trevor again, how has Tyson looked? Tyson Vumachon.
Yeah, he had a good day today. Pleased with where he was today. I thought he made some nice plays. He's active. And, we've really challenged him. He's a guy that's going to be critical to our success this year. And I like where he's at from an overall development standpoint and mindset.
Dabo, Gary from Clemson Sports News. The running back guys, they really look like you got some size there this year compared to in the past. Taking a look at just at Shipley coming and Maffa and then and Kobe's size. Is this the biggest set of running backs you've ever had there?
What was more what?
The size, the definite size difference in the size of your running backs this class. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, probably so. It's probably the biggest we've been, in that room in a while. We got some big dudes, man. That's for sure. So, Maffa's a naturally big kid, smooth. Shipley's got great size. Kobe is a grown man. None of those guys are little. They're all put together. Ches is put together. Mikey Dukes is a big, strong, physical kid. So it's a really, really good group. And, we've kind of had guys in and out, all spring here. And, hopefully Lindsay will be back on Wednesday. But it's a physical group from top to bottom. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah, this is Reggie from WLTX in Columbia. Having a punter back for a 6th year, have you ever had a player that comes back for a 6th year? And also, how much better can he get going into the
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think I've had a 6-year guy, but they're going to be a bunch of 6-year guys all over the country this year. And I just Will Spiers was a developmental guy when we signed him. He really wasn't. He was a quarterback that punted, and now he's become a punter. He's always had the ability. He's got NFL potential, and I think this really, really is going to benefit him because it's another year of development, and he's coming off his best year. I think he was half a yard off the all-time school record that Gardocki owns, and so he's got a lot of confidence. And man, I think he's got a chance to really, really have a great year. So, again, there'll be a bunch of 6-year guys all over the country this year and in the next year and probably the next couple of years maybe. But he's one of those guys that I think this is going to be a huge blessing for him and his opportunity to play at the next level.
Hey, Dabo, this is Anna with Clemson 24/7. Are you guys cross-training Jordan McFadden and Walker Parks right now at right and left, or have those guys found homes yet on either side?
No, ain't nobody found a home. We're cross-training everybody. We got guys cross-training all over the place. We got to come out of spring with the type of depth that we didn't have last spring. Last spring we had guys that on the depth chart, but we weren't functional. And really came out of fall camp with maybe 6 guys that we thought could play winning football for us. And we, kind of took our lumps and had to develop along the way in the season. We were fortunate because our top 5 guys pretty much stayed healthy and was able to play pretty much all the competitive plays. So we were very fortunate, but we're way ahead in the offensive line than we were this time last year. It's not even close. And I'm excited about that because I do think we'll be able to come out of this fall camp with hopefully 10 or 11 guys, which is what we're used to. But part of that is experimenting and cross-training guys, and developing, different types of chemistry, different types of roles. So, because at the end of the day, you want to get the best 5 that you got, and then who's the next best 5 and so forth. So, or who's the 6th best, 7th best guy, and so we're in that process right now. But yeah, there's nobody that's found a home.
Hey, Dabo, David with ESPN. Maybe to kind of piggyback on that a little bit, it's sort of a weird thing in that obviously Jackson is in a position where he might go fairly early in the draft this year. John Simpson had a great year, but historically, for all the success you've had and all the guys you've put in the league, you haven't had a lot of like 1st, 2nd, 3rd round O linemen taken. I'm curious if you have any idea why that is. Do you think it was sort of how the NFL viewed your scheme for a while? And do you think that's something that is or can change in the future?
I don't think it had anything to do with how they viewed our scheme. I just think that, that's a hard position. Brandon Thomas was a 3rd round draft pick, had a nice career. Tyler Shatley's still playing. kind of took what we got. That was the area where our recruiting has transformed over the last, probably 3 years. And I think that you'll see more of that as we come. But I think it's a credit to Robbie Caldwell. It's a credit to what we've been able to do to win the type of games. If you go back and look at our average recruiting ranking over, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, those classes, 15, we were probably an average of about 13th in the country. But yet we beat teams that were the average of 1. And so I think that's a credit, to what we've been able to do and the job that Robbie's done, and being able to, again, we weren't always getting the Jackson Carmen. But we, as you look at our recruiting in the last 2 or 3 years, man, it's exciting because I think that we have more, ready guys that I think have the, a little more long-term potential to play in the NFL. But at the end of the day, it's about winning football games. And, Gage Cervenka might not be in the NFL, but he was a hell of a player for the Tigers. So, our first left tackle was Philip Price on our first ACC championship team. He was a walk-on tight end that became a heck of a left tackle for us. So we've had some good players, Brandon Thomas, Shatley, John Simpson, Jackson's fixing to do well. Mitch Hyatt's still up in the NFL. Tremaine Ankrum. We've got guys out there, but I think hopefully over these next few years, we have 16 offensive linemen and 13 of them are freshmen and sophomores. So I think that again we've got the right guys, and we got a lot of guys that will have an opportunity. Certainly, Jordan McFadden's going to have an opportunity to play at the next level. I think we got a bunch of those guys right now that have that long range potential. So I think the biggest thing is just the NFL is a different game from, and it's elite. And even though maybe Tyrone Crowder wasn't an NFL guy, he needed enough to win a national championship. So that's what matters to me. That's my job, win games here.
Hey, Dabo, Kristen Nini from The Athletic here. The NCAA and the AFCA, they're trying to get teams to cut down on faking injuries in games. I know that's something your team went through a couple of years ago with an opponent. What do you feel about that in the game and the idea that maybe teams could post-game be penalized for that?
Well, I mean, you hope that people don't coach that. I mean, that's certainly not something we would ever teach here. Hopefully nobody would do that. And I don't really know. I mean, how do you, I mean, I'm sure there's ways to maybe study it and come up with some type of way, but you never want to just want to assume that people are going to do the right thing. You don't want to ever question somebody being injured. Certainly though, when people do that, it's not a good thing, for our game, but it's definitely not something that we've tried to teach or coach or anything like that.
Coach, this is Todd Shaughnessy in Spartanburg and Greenville. Why do you want to take a week-long break in the middle, and what do you do?
Well, I don't necessarily want to take a week-long break. That's just how the schedule goes, because I'm not going to wait till March 22nd to start spring ball. That's just not our philosophy here. I actually like the break. I think it's actually good because, like I said, we got a lot of guys back that we wouldn't have had last week. So I think it's good. We like to get going early and because we're usually in pretty good football shape because we typically play, later into the season. And so I think we can have a little mini winter and then we can get right to it. I like to finish early because, we get out of school early here. Our finals are the last week of April. So, I like to have a good training session post-spring. That's something I believe in, and really having a longer uninterrupted opportunity to train, in the late spring and into the summer. So that's one of the reasons we do it. And then injuries, we've had guys get hurt late that we've been able to get back. And if we'd have gone later, probably wouldn't have been back till, second, third, fourth game. So there's a lot of reasons. And, I think the break's good. It's good for these guys to be college kids and some of them, again, heal up and get back at it. So it's been good.
What do you focus on for the last few practices?
Say that again.
What do you focus on for the last few practices?
Well, like I said at the beginning, the first 9 practices about what we do, installation, how we do it, why we do it, a lot of fundamentals, a lot of technique, a lot of things like that, a lot of drill work, a lot of controlled type competitive stuff, and then these last practices is okay. Well, who can do it? And so we're going to put them in. We've got a half 50-50 day on Wednesday. We got a full scrimmage Friday. We got a half scrimmage Monday. We got a spring game. So this last part is more about really evaluating who can, and then really evaluating and giving these guys the feedback that they need as far as what they've got to do to get better between now and August. And then also for us as coaches, what we've got to do to get this team where it needs to be. So this last few practices is more kind of get out of the way and let's see who can. Again, the first, these 9-10 days here, what, how, why we do it. And now let's let them go compete a little bit more. And so we can get the best evaluation possible coming out of spring.
Dabo, speaking of those guys that can, how's XT looking? Xavier Thomas looking out there for you right now?
He's good. He's been consistent. He's been available, and that's been awesome. He's been very, very consistent. He's been very engaged. He's feeling good about his conditioning and where he is. He's still got some work to do between now and August, but I like his mindset. He's showing up every day. He's got goals, and he's keeping them in front of his mind, which I like. And so he's been good.
Dabo, this is Matt. With Frank, do you know at what point he'll be back, or do you know if he'll be able to do much this summer as far as workouts and stuff?
Oh, yeah, no, he'll be back. He'll be back soon. He just the timing of it's not going to allow him to play in the spring game, unfortunately. But he'll be ramping up, quick, and he should be ready to go full speed at everything, with our post spring workouts and summer stuff.
Who are some of the who's that you're looking for, these last 4 or 5 practices to jump out and maybe take that next step?
Yeah, again, it starts with offensive line. That's number one. How many of those guys can we come out of spring feeling like they can? And, that starts first and foremost. And then, I think we've got some guys in the secondary that we really need to come through for us. And so putting them in some challenging situations to see where they are. Tyson Vumachon, he's a guy that man, he needs to not just be ready to play, he needs to be ready to go win the game. And I really want him to really prepare and think as the starter. That's something I want to see, that type of urgency from him. And he missed some practice in the first half. So I think this is a very critical time for him these next couple of weeks.
Coach, Tony Elliott looks kind of like a duck in water out there with the tight ends, of course, being a former receiver himself. How seamless has that transition been for him, and how much of a luxury having Danny to be able to lean on just with the blocking elements of the position?
Tony can coach anything. I mean, that's been easy. That's why we made the move. Very, very easy for him. He knows every position inside and out, and he's having fun. He's really enjoying it. And then it's been fun with Spiller. Spiller has been awesome. I mean, he is a natural, and just really like what both those guys are doing.
Dabo, how different is playing safety now compared to, say, 10 years ago, the pre-RPO era?
It's a different world. It's so different, because you don't have as many people under center, so you've got, it's option football. That's what it is. You've got shotgun, ball in the belly, and it's first level reads, second level reads, third level reads, and then boom, it's a run, a quarterback run, or a pass. So it's basically a triple option attack out of the spread with dudes flying down the field on you. So it's very, very difficult, and it's totally different than it was 10 years ago. It's not even close. So many different formations, the tempo, the adjustments that you have to make. Again, how you have to read things because of the RPOs, how you want to disguise things. I mean, the game has changed and evolved immensely at that position. That's a very, very difficult position to play, that safety position. And, I'm thankful that we took a few lumps last year with some young guys, losing 3 really good players the year before. But man, having Nolan back, and then all those guys got some experience and got some scars that gonna make them better. So I'm excited about our safety group and what I've seen this spring there.
As a coach whose background is in offense, but who obviously loves playing great defense, are you sort of middle of the road on the legal man downfield rule, and whether there might be need to put some teeth into that, or do you really think about it? What do you have?
No, I like the rule. I just like it to be enforced, and that's probably been the biggest change. Is I think the refs have gotten so much better in enforcing the rule, the rule's been in place for a long time, but people are, you take advantage of the rules the best you can in football, and certainly in offensive football, it's trying to be deceptive. And same thing on the defense. You're trying to be deceptive over there and not tip your hand and so forth. And play action has always been a huge part of football for a long time, regardless of whether you're I formation team, under center, shotgun, option, it doesn't matter. But as far as, the zone read, the RPO game off of it, and the way football has evolved, I think it's been fun. I think it's exciting for football. And I think as coaches, I think the biggest thing is you just want the rules to be enforced. And I think that they've been, for a couple of years there, it was because I think the refs had to adjust too. And I think they have. I think it's gotten a lot better these last couple of years. And I know we've been busted a few times, and other teams against us have as well.
Dabo, this is Grace from The Athletic. Just to follow up on Larry's question about the safety position changing, does that put more of an emphasis on you guys going out and recruiting a guy like Makuba, who's versatile and can kind of do a little bit of everything? Like, how much, I guess, has the way that you got recruited also changed as the position itself has changed?
Yeah, I don't think that's changed. I mean, listen, I go take Marcus Gilchrist right now. Marcus Gilchrist back in 2009, he could play then, now, 10 years from now. I mean, you want smart, athletic, physical guys that love football. That ain't changed. There's schematics and things like that change, but what it takes to win at that position, are the same things. It's smart football players, football IQ guys, guys that are physical, that will come up and support the run, guys that are versatile, that can play free or strong, and guys that are athletic, guys that can run. So I mean that hasn't changed. That's still the same.
Hey, Coach, this is Todd in Greenville, Spartanburg again.
I will say this. I think what's changed more is the linebackers. That's what's changed more than the safeties.
How so? Can you elaborate? Sorry, Todd, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. That's okay, Grace.
Well, just again, you're seeing these as the game has changed, all these slots and these really athletic tight ends, and the RPO stuff. You got to have guys that can cover. So having true Sam linebackers, you're limited. Because you're not going to play much man coverage with a true Sam linebacker on Hunter Renfro or Braden Galloway. So it's everybody now is looking for a little different guy. We've had some of those guys, Adoree and Isaiah Simmons, Trenton, some guys that can play linebacker but run like safeties and cover a little bit like, corners from time to time if needed. And so I think that's where it's changed more. And then same thing in the box, that wheel backer, what he's got to be able to do, and the way that the space of the game, I think it's just evolved, and that's the position that I think, has probably been affected more than safety.
Coach, I was wondering what you see in CJ and how much more you are impressed with him as a coach in his transition from being a player. What do you see from him?
Great knowledge, a lot of confidence in what he's doing, well prepared. He's 33 years old now. He's well prepared to do what he's doing. And he's had a vision for this for a long time. I don't think he knew when that time would come, but he's had a vision, for what he wanted to do. And it's been awesome. I mean, again, the biggest thing is just, I like his demeanor. I like how he runs his room. I love how he communicates. And again, he's just a very, very knowledgeable, guy. Even though he hasn't been a coach, he's always been a student of the game, and he's passionate about it, he's detailed, and again, just love what I've seen from him, daily as he's taking this next step.
He was kind of a difference maker before he became a coach, for sure, right?
Spiller.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how you look up difference maker, and that's his name's beside it. He's always been a difference maker. He's a phenomenal player, but he was a difference maker in every area, not just on the field. He's been a difference maker in the community, in his family. With this program, he's pretty much everything he does. He's been a difference maker. So that's just a credit to how he's lived his life, and super proud of him. And it's really one of my greatest joys to be able to have him back here and to be able to work with him in this role, as a part of his alma mater and program that man, his handprints and sweat is all woven into the bricks and mortar here.
Dabo, do you know when Justin Ross's, I guess his next doctor's visit is sometime later this month?
Yeah, they got a Zoom meeting on Thursday, and so hopefully that'll go well. And then I think he's actually will go back either May or early June when he goes back up to Pittsburgh. But he's doing great. I mean, just looks phenomenal. It's fun to get over here and do our team stuff. And then when we get over there in the competitive stuff, you notice him not there. So it's been good though. I mean, he's, I think, done a really good job of leading and really working within the parameters that he's had on him this spring. Proud of him, and just continue to keep him in our prayers that we're going to get the news that we all want.
Do you have a feel for like the best case scenario for when he might be able to go through full contact?
Yeah, fall camp. That's kind of been the plan all along, is kind of where we are right now, just like we did with Mike from a progression standpoint, and then get out there and be able to. He's doing everything from a training standpoint. He's not missing anything. Lifting, training, running, everything. We're just not letting him have contact. So best case scenario is when we start fall camp, you don't have that yellow jersey on.
Hey Dabo, it's Josh from Charleston. Is the hope that he'll be cleared for contact during that late May, early June appointment?
Yes, that is the hope, but that's all up to the doctors, and we'll just have to kind of wait and see, what their final timeline is, and where he is at that time. But, that's certainly our hope.
Dabo, this is Matt again. I know there were you talked about the offensive line earlier, but the defensive line last year had some young guys you guys counted on. Just how do you feel about that group right now, and how does it look this spring?
Yeah, I mean, we were an inconsistent bunch last year for sure. And, you know, whether it be guys that were available to play, inexperience, depth, whatever it was. But man, I love I love that group. And same thing, kind of like safety. We took a few, you know, bumps and bruises along the way, but man, Brian Brzee is woo, he's so much better than he was at any point last year. Miles Murphy, the same, two freshmen that really played well for us last year and as true freshmen. And people don't really understand how hard that is to do. And so it's just going to make them better, and they are better. You know, KJ did a lot of good things last year, and, you know, we're getting him back healthy. Maskell, man, his experience that he got last year, my goodness, that's just going to pay huge dividends for him. You know, Rook's a guy that I think can be a great player here. Tyler Davis, man, going into his junior year, he's got the knowledge and the experience. I'm excited about what I've seen out of Darnell. I mean, we're just developing those young guys, man, Big Cape, Peyton Page, Trey. Those are three special young talents. I love what I've seen out of Denhoff, Greg Williams, his development. You know, Xavier, getting him back and really, you know, locked in on what he needs to do. I mean, it's just a really good group of guys. And, you know, I just think we got a chance to stay healthy, to have the type of group that we've had around here, what we've come to be accustomed to.
Dabo, with Frank's injury, what EJ looked like getting some snaps, and Dakari Collins, the new guy?
Did you say EJ?
Yeah, and Dakari.
Yeah. Well, EJ probably had his best practice today. In fact, I stopped practice just to go tell him that. I mean, he was awesome today, and that was really good to see. I just loved his focus, his purpose that he was practicing with. And I love those two young guys, the Collins kids, man. They're the right stuff. I mean, I love both of those guys. You know, they're going to be great players, and they're ahead of the curve. As I said, I mean, they're not your typical freshmen. They are ahead. But we got a deep, talented group, and we got Stiletto coming in here this summer to join them. So I'm just really, really excited about that receiver room and the leadership we have there, and the overall playmaking ability.
Hey, Dabo, I hate to even ask you this, but with it being in the news over the last few days, any reaction to the allegations that were made against Deshaun? You obviously know him probably as well as anybody. I assume it came as a surprise to you.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, we're disappointed to see, you know, his name in the news and all that's going on. But, you know, look, hey, I love Deshaun Watson. He's like a son to me, and that's how I love him. And as far as all the legal stuff and all that, that'll all, you know, take its course and all that stuff. So certainly can't, you know, speculate or comment on any of that stuff. But all I can tell you is, you know, I've known Deshaun since the 9th grade, and man, he's been nothing but exemplary in every area that I've ever known him in. You know, 3 years here as a player, I think I had a chance to yell at him one time. He was 5 minutes late to a team meeting that he overslept for, and that's it. So, I mean, that's the Deshaun I know. And I can only, you know, base my thoughts on my experiences with him, which have been, you know, just wonderful. And again, I love him like a son. And, you know, we'll just have to see where everything else goes from there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anything else for Coach Swinney?
Coach, on a lighter note, are you taking Gonzaga or the field?
I we got the Swinney bracket going, and believe it or not, Kath picked Abilene Christian because Coach Stallings' daughters went there. So, but I actually have Baylor and Gonzaga. So on my two brackets, I got Gonzaga in one, Baylor in the other. So, but we have some fun with it, the Swinney household, every year, and we'll see how it goes. But been some massive upsets. You gotta love it. Isn't that fun though? It's just fun to see. People go out and compete. You think there's certain things are going to happen, and just the opposite happens. Just the competitiveness, and the will to win that you see from all those teams. It's been awesome. And listen, I'm proud of our basketball team. I really am. I mean, I've certainly hated that we got beat in the opener, but man, let me tell you something. This is to be a 7 seed and to have the type of season that we had in the most challenging year ever, and some of the best basketball programs in the history of basketball aren't even in the tournament, but yet Clemson is. Yeah, I'm disappointed that we got beat, but man, they competed their tails off, and I'm super proud of those seniors. I really am. Those guys have made us better, and it's great to get back in the tournament, and hopefully it'll get a taste of that for some of these really young, talented guys we got. Will be something that Brad and those guys can really use to continue to grow them and get them better, and get them back.
How much would you like to coach a guy like Amir Sims?
Man, I love Amir. I love that guy. He's just I'd love to have him out here football. He'd be a pretty good little tight end, that's for sure, or D end coming off the edge. I think he's probably going to be able to go make a living playing some basketball. But I just love everything about Amir. I mean, he's committed to his university, committed to his team, and it was fun to watch him get better and better and better and better throughout his career here, and just a great ambassador for Clemson. Really proud of him, and he's one of those guys I got to know a good bit over the years, and just proud of what he was able to do, the legacy that he's leaving, and I think he certainly has left us better than when he got here.